Thank you. Thank you, Chair. And thank you to Fiona and Tom for bringing this really important motion. The Green Group fully agrees that a no deal Brexit would have a disastrous impact on London and, more importantly, on Londoners. This afternoon, the EU Exit Committee will be meeting to discuss things we've already heard a lot about: the shortages of medicine, the severe transport disruptions, the sort of unprecedented sort of economic turmoil that's anticipated in the event of a no-deal exit. And there's the implications of a no-deal exit from the EU for peace in Northern Ireland and the very survival of the Good Friday Agreement. I detect a feeling in this city of anxiety. This is especially true of EU nationals living here. On the 19th of August, the Johnson government announced a policy that no-deal Brexit would end freedom of movement immediately. This leaves EU nationals, our friends, colleagues and neighbours, worrying about their future and whether they will be able to continue living in this city that they call home. So we're not just pushing to stop no deal, we're trying to protect our democracy. Last week, Prime Minister Johnson chose to restrict the amount of time our MPs had to debate exit from the EU. This undemocratic tactic sent shockwaves across our city and did not go unnoticed by the people of London. Tens of thousands of people took to the streets after work last Wednesday to protest the proroguing of Parliament and this abuse of power. It is everyone's right to protest when our democracy is under threat. Londoners tell me they feel like they're walking around with a knot in their stomach. They're angry, and so am I. I am furious at the government's intent to leave the EU without a deal, whatever the cost, casually catapulting us towards a no-deal Brexit by proroguing Parliament and casting aside proper democratic process. This also shows the urgent need for a citizens' constitutional convention and a written constitution with fair votes. So I absolutely support this call for the Mayor to write to the Prime Minister and urge him not to take the UK out of the EU without a deal. And I salute those 21, or perhaps it's 22, or maybe even more by now, brave former Conservative MPs who say they do not recognise what their party has become. And the Prime Minister's brother, who has resigned just now, says he is torn between family loyalty and the national interest. This is getting Shakespearean. I'm inspired by citizens who are taking to the streets to be heard and to be counted. Whether people voted to leave or to remain, they have spoken loudly and clearly that they will not stand for these undemocratic tactics. And I'm glad that the amendment urges not only government but also members of Parliament because of the threat to our very parliamentary democracy. Now, together, we can stand up to the no-deal Brexit bullies in Westminster. And I say to members in this Assembly and to people if they're watching at home who care about protecting our democracy and our democratic processes, I stand with you. The Green Group fully supports this motion.